The Undercover CEO stopped outside the break room after hearing quiet sobbing behind the half-closed door. He expected to find a new employee overwhelmed by her first week, but instead he found a young cashier clutching a faded photograph of her father and whispering that she only needed to keep this job long enough to pay for the treatment that might save her little brother's life. Those heartbreaking words struck him harder than any business failure ever had, and in that single moment he realized he had spent years studying profit reports while barely understanding the silent battles his employees fought every day. Before this emotional journey begins, if you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances still have the power to change lives, please like this video, leave a thoughtful comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel so our family and our community can continue growing through stories that remind us compassion can change lives in ways money never can. Gideon Whitmore had built one of the country's largest supermarket chains from a single neighborhood grocery store started by his late parents. Although newspapers celebrated his success, Gideon often questioned whether the company had become too large for him to truly understand the people working inside it. Hoping to see the business through the eyes of ordinary employees, he began visiting different stores disguised as a temporary operations trainee. Dressed in a simple uniform, he stocked shelves, collected shopping carts, cleaned aisles, and quietly observed how customers and staff treated one another. One bright Monday morning, Gideon arrived at a busy suburban store where everyone seemed rushed. Among the newest employees was a cashier named Meredith Collins. She greeted every customer with a warm smile, patiently helped elderly shoppers pack groceries, and remained cheerful despite working non-stop throughout the day. Yet Gideon noticed that every smile seemed to disappear the moment she believed no one was watching. During lunch, he walked toward the employee break room to refill his water bottle. That was when he heard the soft sound of someone crying. Inside, Meredith sat alone holding a worn family photograph. Tears rolled down her face as she stared at the image of her father, who had passed away several years earlier. Beside the picture rested several unpaid medical invoices and a handwritten note reminding her of her younger brother's upcoming hospital appointment. Meredith quickly wiped away her tears and returned to work before anyone else noticed. Gideon never forgot what he had seen. Instead of revealing his identity, he quietly learned more about her situation through careful observation rather than gossip. He discovered she worked extra shifts at another part-time job after leaving the supermarket every afternoon. She skipped lunch several days each week to save money. Despite her own struggles, she secretly purchased groceries for an elderly customer whose payment card had been declined. No cameras captured the moment. She expected no praise. Kindness simply came naturally to her. Days later, Gideon witnessed something else that deeply troubled him. A frustrated supervisor publicly criticized Meredith after a pricing mistake caused by outdated computer information. Although the error was not her fault, she accepted the blame quietly rather than embarrassing another employee responsible for updating the system. Watching from nearby, Gideon realized the company culture had drifted far from the values his parents had taught him. Employees feared mistakes more than they trusted leadership. That afternoon he ended his undercover assignment. The following morning every store manager in the region received an invitation to a company meeting. Meredith believed she was attending because she might lose her job. Instead, she walked into the headquarters conference room where Gideon entered wearing an elegant business suit. The room fell silent. Only then did everyone realize the quiet trainee they had overlooked was actually the company's founder and chief executive. Rather than criticizing anyone publicly, Gideon spoke about dignity. He explained that every employee carried unseen burdens beyond the workplace. Some struggled with illness. Others cared for aging parents. Some raised children alone. Many smiled while carrying heartbreak invisible to everyone around them. He announced immediate leadership training focused on compassion, respect, and employee support. Then he turned toward Meredith. He praised her honesty, work ethic, and kindness without mentioning her private tears. Instead, he simply explained that true character appears when nobody is watching. The audience responded with heartfelt applause. In the weeks that followed, the company introduced emergency assistance funds for workers facing family medical crises. Flexible schedules allowed caregivers to spend more time with loved ones. Managers began receiving coaching on encouragement instead of humiliation. Store morale transformed almost overnight. Meredith's younger brother received the treatment he desperately needed through the new employee assistance program. She continued working, not because she had to survive alone anymore, but because she genuinely loved helping people. Months later, Gideon visited the same store openly as CEO. This time employees welcomed him without fear. Laughter filled the break room. Team members shared meals together. The atmosphere felt completely different. Meredith had been promoted to Customer Experience Coordinator, mentoring new cashiers with patience and empathy. She reminded every new employee that every shopper and coworker carried a story that deserved kindness. Gideon smiled as he watched the transformation. He realized the greatest investment any company could ever make was not in buildings, technology, or profits. It was in people. Before this story reaches its heartfelt ending, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a meaningful comment telling us whether you believe one act of compassion from a leader can completely change an employee's life, or share a moment when someone believed in you during one of your hardest seasons. As another beautiful afternoon came to a close, Gideon quietly walked through the store his parents had once dreamed of building. He finally understood that success is never measured only by sales reports or financial growth but by the number of lives we lift along the way. Meredith discovered that even during life's darkest moments, hope can arrive through unexpected kindness, while her younger brother gained the chance to dream about a brighter future. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. May we all remember that behind every smiling face may be a silent struggle, and sometimes the smallest act of understanding becomes the greatest gift another person will ever receive.